Hello there everyone, my name is Mathew McKenna and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a very highly requested part 2. Now, like ages ago, I honestly don't even know how long ago, I did a reaction to a band called Why Don't We? And since then, very often I've gotten requests to do more. So today that's finally happening. It seems they've made a big splash again lately, releasing quite a few new music videos in like a couple of months. So I'm interested to dive into their newer stuff and see what my thoughts are. Before we start though, if you're new here, make sure you click subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. So the first song is called I Don't Belong in This Club, which seems to be the opposite to what so many pop songs are about, but it also features Macklemore, and I really like Macklemore. This is a good start to this video. Some simple like piano to start.
Hats off to the DJ, same song twice in an evening.
Throwing mad shade at them. What is that mustache?
Don't belong in this club. One dance.
Oh, okay, I see. They're like trying to sneak in the club.
Hopped out of the Uber.
Bring on Macklemore.
Had the polo with the bolo.
He definitely belongs in that club though.
Walked up to the bouncer. Hey, what's up, man? Whole squad on stealth. I'm Macklemore. He said Macklemore. Who? It's me. You gotta wait like everybody else.
Just get smashed. Go to the back of the line, Macklemore.
The DJ ain't playing the cuts. No. And what do I do with my hands?
So it's interesting to hear someone sing about like how awkward clubs and dancing are. Like they're fun, but also, yeah, they're extremely awkward. I can totally imagine this being played in like clubs just as a meta joke. See, they're saying that they feel awkward, but then like they're so in sync and dancing awesomely and everyone's staring at them like, damn, I'm getting mixed signals here. Well, they got kicked out in the end, so I guess they didn't belong in that club. That was certainly interesting and kind of not what I expected. It was also probably a bit more lively than I was expecting, I think. Although I guess that makes sense. But yeah, it really felt like a commentary on their perspective of like what being in a club is like, because it can get weirdly awkward. A lot of people really struggle to like socialize or I guess meet people in that sort of environment, and that makes sense. There's a lot going on. It's very loud and aggressive and crazy, and I guess there are a lot of things of like, why would anyone want to do this anyway? And I guess to an extent it's like there's these societal norms of like, people like going clubbing, so you should like going clubbing. But if you don't feel like you belong there, just don't. It's fine. You do you. So the next one is called Big Plans. I remember last video that I did on these guys, I said that there was a lot of really cool visuals, and this is like a bit like that again.
Work all day, work all night, might not get no sleep tonight, baby can you stay up?
This is kind of groovy. I like the way that they kind of incorporate acoustic guitar riffs into these sort of like poppy beats.
Ain't got everything you want, but got everything you need.
Ain't got everything you want, but got everything you need. That's cute.
Take my hand, take a leap, girl, you gotta wait and see where I take it from here.
I like the vibe of this song of like, I got big plans, wanna come along?
I know that you do the same in my shoes.
It seems like all the people in this band have like such distinct styles right now. One of them's wearing like a buttoned up shirt with a collar. The other one's wearing like a bomber jacket and like just someone's got a t-shirt with chains. What's going on? Feels like I'm in 8 different eras.
I got real big plans. Hold up.
One thing I've noticed being a very consistent thing across Why Don't We's music is that their songs seem to be relatively short, you know? I just looked, we're like almost finished this song, and I feel like I only just started watching it. But I do find that songs that do that tend to be replayable a lot more because you just want to hear the chorus again, so you just replay the song. Yeah, I actually quite like that song as well. It had a very sort of chill out vibe to it, but also I kind of like songs that have a vibe of like something big is gonna happen, you know? That sort of confidence in yourself is always really interesting to me. All right, the next one is called 8 Letters. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess the 8 letters are I love you. Yeah, 1, 4, 3, I love you, probably. Let's see. I don't even know what that instrument is. It sounded like an electric kazoo.
You know me the best, you know my words, see me hurt, but you don't.
They're just sitting on a lazy boy in the middle of a forest. See, more interesting visuals.
I've said those words before, but it was a lie.
I've said those words before, but it was a lie. Yeah, it's definitely I love you. Is he meant to be like Jesus or something? That was so like holy.
Why do I pull you for space.
Okay, I was gonna say, it feels like they're struggling over something that's like, essentially, I don't want to say I love you yet, and I was just gonna be like, well, just don't then. Just wait until you're ready. But from the other lyrics, it seemed as though they're like pushing their partner away because they're not willing to say it. Which then, yes, I guess that becomes problematic.
All it is they letters. Why is it so hard to say?
It's interesting that like none of them are in the same setting here. It's all shot in different places. Really gives like a sort of disjointed feeling.
All it is they letters.
See, again, quite short. I feel like I only just started watching that video. Okay, so I guess the last thing I'd say about that is it's not a criticism at all about the song, but I read an interesting post that was saying, hey, we should try to normalize saying I love you, I mean, to friends and family and everything, but like it shouldn't be as such a monumental deal as it is in a relationship. And they were also saying like, if someone says it and the other person doesn't say it straight away, we should normalize that also being fine. And I personally, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, but I thought it was an interesting thing to bring up for this music video. The idea of like, yeah, okay, saying I love you is like this huge big deal, but I guess, should it be, you know? Like, I don't think it should be made into such a scary, intimidating thing to say that you care for someone that deeply. I think that's a positive thing. And when we weigh it down with all this stigma, I think it can have the side effect of maybe discouraging people from putting themselves out there in that way. But I mean, sound-wise, that was a catchy song. It's probably gonna be in my head later. All right, so the last one we're gonna listen to is called Don't Change. Is this gonna be a bit more low-key?
We were supposed to be leaving, but you keep overthinking.
Again, some really dope visuals.
You're in the mirror, but you're not seeing yourself.
Okay, so this is kind of like a motivational style song. Don't change yourself to be someone you're not.
All I'm trying to say is don't change. Every part of you is just right.
Funnily enough, I expected this one to be far more hype, but I do actually kind of dig the music and the backing track. I'm not 100% sold on the delivery of the lyrics. Like, it's fine. It's just not really something that appeals particularly to me.
Don't change, not a single curve or one line.
I really like the visual sort of representation of using mirrors and like, I think screens and painting sort of vibe to like talk about perfect versions of you or like mirrors of you that you see.
Every part about you's as it should be.
I'm really digging the visuals of this. The way that they were like jumping into the mirror then was pretty cool, and they cut between each of them doing it.
All I'm trying to say is don't change.
All right, so I want to talk about that for a second. Obviously, at its core and at their intentions, good message. I appreciate what they're saying there, and it's important to say, especially to a young audience. I think it's good to hear positive reinforcement like that. However, I will say two things. One is that I feel like there's this big emphasis on people like, don't ever change who you are. Don't ever change. Not for anyone. No matter who they are, no matter what they say, no matter anything they do in your life. Don't change a thing. And I think that when people say that, it doesn't refer to the things that people necessarily always think it refers to. I feel like a lot of people hear that and they go, well, if people don't like me, that's their problem. And I've seen many people in my life use that sort of thing to justify terrible behavior. Like, oh, I'm hurting people and pushing them away and not being great and doing terrible things, but I'm not going to change. Why should I change for you? And I would say there are some things about yourself and about everyone that you should change. Like, for instance, I get frustrated really easily. That's not a good thing. And that shouldn't be something that I should just don't change because screw everyone else. Like, if I'm getting frustrated and I snap at my friends and snap at the people I care about quickly because of my flaw, absolutely I should change that. And I think when people say things like, oh, don't change, they refer to like, I mean, if you like anime and you're a dude that loves makeup, don't change, screw other people. In which case, yes, great message, screw everyone else. So when I hear songs that have things like that, I'm like, yes, good, in so many ways, good, but also like keep in mind that this kind of idea of don't change anything about yourself ever, I think is really dangerous, because you should always be aiming to improve yourself and make yourself a better person, you know? I don't know, I'm really going on a long tail here about this music video, but I guess the last thing I'd say as well is like, there's a lot of good in that music video, but I also don't like when those sort of good messages or good implications of like, be who you are, it's fine, are done at the expense of people who like want to wear makeup or want to change the way they dress or want to do stuff differently, you know? I haven't really heard a song like that that hasn't given me some implication of like, why are you wearing makeup for? You're beautiful. And the answer for people is like, because I want to wear makeup. deal with it, you know? And I think by the same extent of like, don't change who you are for anyone, that also applies to don't stop wearing makeup because someone says you're good without makeup. If you want to wear makeup, if you want to cover up your flaws, do it, man. And coming from someone who had pretty bad acne during his teenage years and still gets breakouts occasionally, it kind of feels like a slap in the face to be told like, what, if I'm covering up my flaws, I'm pretending to be someone else? No, I'm just wearing makeup because I want to look better. Anyway, rant over. Overall, I think all those songs were just enjoyable enough to me. I don't think any of them like super stuck out as something that I would listen to, but the first one, I think, Don't Belong in This Club or whatever, that's probably the one I liked the most. It was also just kind of fun and dumb, and I really like that kind of style and vibe. But I want to hear your thoughts. Do you like Why Don't We? Have you listened to them before? If you hadn't, what'd you think? And if you did, what's your favorite song out of all those? I'm always keen to hear people's responses to what I've said and my takes on the music, so please just pop them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to click that like button, and as always, have an awesome time until I see you next. See ya.